That means there will be no any what the physical connectivity between the source and the destination. Okay, so here we are going to have a look on how the wireless communication is going to takes place. Okay, so in case of your what that is a data communication subject, you might have you had a subject you had a concept called as a mobility. Okay, so mobility is nothing but what the movement of a mobile node. Okay, so that concept we are going to execute, or that concept we are going to analyze in this program, that is wireless TCL script components. What are the components which are required so in order to write the wireless program? Okay, because whatever the programs we have discussed till now, those are related to wired programs. Okay, so now the program number 4 is related to wireless. Okay, so what are the different components which are required in order to write the TCL script for a wireless program? Okay, so the first component which is required is that is setting the wireless parameters. Okay, the parameters are going to be, or we need to set some of the parameters. I'll show what are the parameters we need to set for a wireless environment, and then we need to create an event. Okay, so we need to create an event scheduler. So what time the event should start and what time the event should stop and everything. So we need to create that event scheduler, and then we need to open a new file and turn on the tracing. Okay, so tracing should be turned on in order to store the, or you can say the value should be stored whenever you are performing simulation in the background process. We can observe that file as a trace file. Okay, and then select the desired node configuration. Okay, so then again, whatever the node or what is the position of that particular node, you can set in the form of what node configuration part. And then you need to create a node. That is how many number of nodes you required. Okay, so that is nothing but what the creation of a node, and then assigning the mobility to the node. Okay, so here the word comes mobility. So mobility is nothing but what the movement of a mobile node, because our mobile node is not static, it is dynamic. Okay, so it may changes its position from one place to another place. Okay, so what is the mobility? So as the name indicates, mobility, movement of a mobile node, it moves from one place to another place. Okay, assigning the mobility to the nodes. Okay, so here we are going to consider the nodes as a mobile. Okay, so at what time the node should be, or node should move from one place to another place, or at what coordinate value that particular node should be available. Okay, that is nothing but what assigning the mobility to the node. That means what are the coordinates values of that particular node. Okay, and then we need to configure the traffic type. Okay, so what kind of traffic you want to assign, whether you want to generate, or whether you want to create a what FTP traffic, or you want to create a CBR traffic, and so on. Okay, and then we need to set the time for a traffic generation. Okay, at what time the traffic generator should generate the traffic, and then reset the node configuration and terminate the simulation. These are what some of the components which are required for to write the TCL script for the wireless environment. Okay, so this is what we can say the parameters, or I can say the wireless parameters which we need to set at the initial stage. Okay, so whenever you are going to write the TCL script for a wireless network, so you need to set the wireless parameters. Okay, so these are the some of the standard, or you can say predefined wireless parameters that needs to be adopted or that needs to be written in the TCL script. Okay, whenever you are writing a wireless network. Okay, so what are these parameters? You can see here, set val chan. Okay, so this is nothing but a channel slash wireless channel. Okay, so everything is mentioned the description in front of that particular line. You can see here, so channel slash wireless channel. So this line or this statement is going to represent the type of a channel. What is the type of a channel? It is a wireless channel. And second one is set val prop. Okay, so propagation. So what kind of propagation it is? Slash the name of that particular propagation. There is a two-ray ground. That is a radio propagation model. Okay, and then set val in the bracket ant. So ant is nothing but again antenna. What type of antenna you are using for the setting the wireless network? There is omni antenna. Okay, that is antenna type. This is one of the type of antenna. So one of the major advantage of having this omni antenna is it will cover the almost all the directions, or you can say the range of all the mobility nodes can be covered in the form of a 360-degree. Okay, so this the specialty of this omni antenna is it will cover the larger area in all the directions. Okay, so you can say in the 360-degree it will cover the what number of ranges. Okay, so then set val ll link layer. Okay, so what type of layer it is? That is a link layer. Then set val if q. Okay, so what is this interface queue type? Okay, so what is the interface queue type? It is a queue. So what kind of it is? It is a drop tail, then priority queue. And then if queue length, what is this? This is the again interface length, interface queue length. What is the maximum packet in the interface queue length it can accommodate? That is 50. Okay, and again then set val net if. Okay, net if you can say net interface type. What kind of network interface you are using? That is physical. That is again it is in the form of a wireless physical. Okay, and then set val mac. So mac again 802.11. As I mentioned in the last class, dot will be represented in the form of a underscore. This is the type of a MAC we are using. That is the Ethernet standard for a wireless network is a 802.11. Okay, for wired it is 802.3. In Ethernet LAN we have seen the standard for Ethernet standard for the IEEE Ethernet standard for wired is a 802.3. This since it is a wireless network, we are configuring or we are dealing with a wireless network. The MAC type, or you can say the IEEE standard is a 802.11. Okay, and then RP, that is set val and the bracket RP. What is this RP? So RP refers to routing protocol. Okay, so what type of routing protocol you are using? Okay, what type of ad hoc routing protocol you are using for routing the packet? Okay, so here the protocol name mentioned it as a DSDV. So DSDV stands for distance sequenced distance vector. Okay, so distance sequenced distance vector is one of the type of a ad hoc routing protocol. Okay, and then set value NN. What is this NN? So here is the number of mobile nodes. Okay, so how many number of mobile nodes you are using? For example, 2. Okay, so whatever numbers you are using, you can specify in this place. Okay, so this is what the environment, or I can say the setting the properties, or I can say setting the wireless parameters. If you are creating the wireless network, we need to set these all parameters. Okay, these are you can say the environment, these are all features in order to set the wireless network. Okay, so and then creating the event scheduler. Okay, so set NS and new simulator. So as we know this one, and then the remaining process is same. Okay, so analyze the output by using the trace file, and then visualize the output by using a network animator file. Okay, and this is how we are this slide has been represented over here. Okay, so this is how we are going to configure the nodes. Okay, so how to configure the node? Okay, so by using the some of the parameters that are used or that are required for configuring the wireless network. Okay, so I'll be explaining these things while explaining the program. And then similarly same concepts. Okay, assigning the mobility. Okay, and then configuring the traffic type. Okay, so whether it is a TCP, FTP, CBR, and so on. And then traffic time, what time the traffic should generate. So same steps has been represented in the form of a code part. Okay, so this is the trace file format which we are going to obtain when you perform the simulation of this ESS program. Okay, so we can see here in the first program we have seen around the trace file may contain around 12 fields. Okay, and when we have look for the last program, that is a Ethernet LAN. Okay, so there we have seen around 7 fields were available in the trace file. Okay, so now in this trace file, so this is the format of trace file. You can see here, this is the trace file format of the the ESS. Okay, so what it contains, yes, and then 76.000 underscore 98 AGT dot 1812 CBR 32. What it is, the application 0 port number on node 98. Okay, so node 98 sent what kind of packet? Okay, that is CBR packet whose packet ID is 1812, whose packet is 1812, and whose size is what? That is 32 byte. Okay, at what time? At what time? That is at 76 seconds. At 76 seconds, to application 0 on node 0. Okay, 0 on node 0 with a TTL of 32 hops. With a TTL of a 32 hops, and next hop is yet to decide. Okay, and we'll see whenever while executing the program, so how it looks. What are the components where we can observe or we can see the trace file? So this is what some of the the components which we need to set whenever we are going to write a the network wireless network, whenever we need to create a the wireless network environment. Okay, so this is how it looks. That is the configuration part. This is how it looks. Okay, so just look for this statement. simulate simple ESS and with the transmitting nodes in a wireless LAN by simulation and determine the performance with respect to the transmission of a packet. What we need to do? We need to simulate ESS. Okay. So the question is, what is this ESS? ESS stands for Extended Service Set. Okay, so ESS stands for Extended Service Set. What exactly this ESS? Okay, so in ESS is nothing but what? So the more one or more BSS are going to constitute a ESS. Okay, so the question is, what is a BSS? So BSS is nothing but what? Basic Service Set. Okay, so in case of basic service set, the now number of nodes will be more, or you can say n number of nodes will be managed by one access point. Okay, that means assume that 10 mobile nodes are available. I'll be having only one access point. Okay, or I can say one router point. Okay, for that BSS. Suppose if I want to cover 100 mobile nodes, okay, is it possible? No. Okay, so that leads what the congestion, or you can say some sort of delay is going to be increased with respect to the transmission of the information or the communication and so on. Okay, so for that reason, one more concept has been introduced in the field of the communications, that is called as a ESS. What is this ESS? The idea behind this the ESS is just introducing more number of access points. Okay, it is something like what the having one access point for entire Bangalore city is nothing but what or you can say for EWIT. Okay, so one access point. Okay, only for engineering one access point, that is nothing but what one BSS. Okay, so for again pharmacy one more access point, for polytechnic one more access point. So put together all these BSS. Okay, so there will be a one more access point. Okay, so these number of BSS are going to point into the one ESS. So that is nothing but a extended service set. The idea behind this ESS is to just extend the communication point. Okay, it is just to cover the larger communication distance. Okay, or you can say it is a collection of, or you can say it is a group of a more number of a BSS. BSS is nothing but what? Where we'll be having only what some mobile nodes and only one access point. Okay, suppose if I want to add more number of mobile nodes, then it will create delay, or it will introduce a delay, and performance will also decreases. Okay, so it will affect the entire network or entire communication process. Okay, so what I need to do? I need to increase the access points as the mobile nodes or the communicating nodes increases. So for that reason, we are going to use this ESS. Okay, what they ask, we need to simulate the ESS with the transmitting a nodes in a wireless LAN. Okay, so what is the standard for this wireless LAN? Okay, so 802.11 is the Ethernet standard for this wireless LAN. By simulation and determine the performance, we need to determine, or we need to calculate the performance. Okay, so by considering one of the performance metrics, that is a throughput, we are going to calculate here the throughput. Based on that throughput, we are going to what analyze, or we are going to what we are going to conclude that so and so communication is having so and so throughput. Okay, or which one is having, or the communication one is having best performance, or communication 2 is having the best performance. Okay, so this is what the configuration part, you can say this is the design part. Okay, so here you can see this is what the x-axis and the y-axis values. Okay, so why we are creating the boundaries to this wireless LAN? Because we have to, because I want to accommodate all these three nodes in this range only, that is 1000 meter into 1000. This is what the final boundary within this range. Okay, so these node should these node should exist. Suppose if I does not specify out these ranges, then there might be a chance. Suppose if I provide the coordinate values of this node, this may come out of this particular range. Okay, so for that reason, what I am doing, I am specifying the boundaries in the form of a x coordinate and a y coordinate values. Okay, so how many nodes we are creating here? We are creating three nodes. That is, one is n0, another one is n1, and one more is a n2. Okay, so what are these 50, 50, 100, 100, 600, 600? These are the coordinate values. Okay, these are the initial position values of this particular node. In this 1000 by 1000 value, where this n0 node should exist. Okay, so where this n1 should exist in this 1000 m or 1000 meter by 1000 meter area, this n1 should exist in 100, 100. And this n2 should exist in 600, 600. Okay, along x-axis and y-axis. Okay, so what we need to do. So these are, as I told, some of the simulation parameters, as I mentioned in the slide. Okay, so how much area we have considered here? That is the area which we considered here is that there is a 1,000 meter into 1,000 meter. That is the x-axis into y-axis, and the simulation time what we have assigned, that is 200 seconds. That is how we can say simulation seconds. And how many number of nodes we have considered? That is the 3 nodes we have considered. And location of node. Okay, so what is the location of node? This is the value what I've specified for n0 and n1 and n2. And one more thing is here, these values are not standard values. Even if you want to change the location of this particular node position, you can change the values also. Okay, so just for our convenient purpose and for clear visual purpose in animation part, so I have just mentioned here the x value and the y values with respect to that particular node, that is n0, n1 and n2. Okay, and the routing protocol what I'm using, that is a distance sequence distance vector. There is a DSDV routing protocol we are using for routing purpose. And then Q interface what we are using, that is again drop tail. And then the MAC what we are using, that is a wireless LAN, that is 802.11. And the application what we are using, that is a FTP, file transfer protocol we are using. And the type of antenna what we are using, that is a Omni antenna. Okay, so as I told, the Omni antenna is going to cover the the 360-degree, or it will work in the form of a 360-degree. Okay, so these are what some of the simulation parameters we are going to setting in order to simulate this simple ESS. Okay, so coming to the program part. Okay, so when we look for your program, so program is almost same, okay, except some code of lines. Okay, so first line, coming to first line, set ns space in the bracket new simulator. Okay, so what is this? This is what creation of the simulator instance, or I can say simulator object. Okay, so set ns space new simulator. S should be again capital. Okay, and then what is this second line? That is set tf, that is a trace file, open, that is a file name what I have given here, it is lab8.tr with write mode dollar ns trace hyphen all dollar tf. So what is this? Okay, so this is just what the opening of a trace file. Okay, so what it does, this line, the last line dollar ns trace hyphen all tf, so this will tracing all the events and the configuration. Okay, so as the name indicates here, dollar ns trace all trace file. Okay, so tracing all the events and the configuration. So because we have configured the different parameters for different nodes of the different nodes in this particular network. Okay, so next 2 lines, that is set topo space new topography. Okay, dollar topo load underscore flat grid 1,000 into 1,000. So what is this? Okay, so this is what creation of a topo object. Okay, it is something like what the creation of a set ns new simulator. Okay, so creation of a a topography instance. Okay, so or I can say setuping the topography object. Okay, setuping of a topography object. Okay, so what are these flat grid? Flat grid is a type of a topography. Okay, so what type of topography we are using? We are using load underscore flat grid is the type of a topography. Okay, so what are these 1,000 and 1,000? 1,000 and 1,000 are the values of this x-axis and y-axis. What I mentioned, what I shown in this diagram. Fine. So next is, that is set enf. Okay, so what it does, that is opening of a NAM file with again write mode, specifying the same file name, that is a lab8 what I use in the trace file. And then $ns nam trace all wireless. You can see here, so we have one more extra keyword which has been specified in the NAM file, because we are dealing with a wireless network. Okay, so in the previous example, in the previous programs, we were not having this wireless keyword, but here, since we are simulating simple ESS in the form of a wireless LAN, so hence the one more keyword has been introduced here, that is a wireless. Okay, so what it does, it will trace all the events and the configuration which will comes under, or which will come, or which lies in this range, that is 1,000 into 1,000, that is x-axis and the y-axis. Okay, so next part is we need to configure all the nodes. Okay, so what all properties we need to set? Okay, so as I mentioned in the slides, okay, so $ns such $ns node hyphen config hyphen ad hoc routing DSDV. Okay, so this complete portion is called as a configuration part, or I can say node configuration. So here we'll be telling so what type of MAC you are using, what type of link layer you are using, what type of channel you are using, what type of propagation type you are using, and then what type of antenna you are using. Okay, everything should be specified in this part. Okay, so this is called as a node configuration. Okay, so coming to first one, that is a what is the first one? $ns node hyphen config hyphen ad hoc routing. So what is the type of routing algorithm you're using? That is a DSDV. As I told as I mentioned in the beginning, what type of routing protocol you're using? We are using that is a DSDV, distance sequenced distance vector protocol. Okay, so that is specified here, and space forward slash. Okay, so space slash, and then second line is LL type. So LL type is a link layer type. Okay, so LL type is again it should be represented as a capital L. That is, it is a link layer type space then slash. Okay, so next line hyphen. You have to represent in this format only. Okay, so in this you have to you should not write here. Okay, so then if you mention here, then you are going to get a error. Fine. Coming to MAC. So hyphen MAC type. Here this T should be capital, and here this T should be capital. This R should be capital. Okay, so MAC type is a what is a MAC type? It is a wireless, that is 802.11 again space slash. Okay, and then if Q type Q slash drop tail. So drop tail is again a type of a Q or interface Q type, or I can say if Q is nothing but a interface Q type. What type of interface Q you are using? That is, it is a drop tail. And then what is the what interface Q length? Okay, if Q length is nothing but what interface Q length, what I'm giving, that is, it is a 50 space again slash. Okay, and then what type of the connectivity you are using? That is a PHY. T should be again capital type, again P should be capital. So it is a wireless. Okay, it is a wireless PHY space slash again. What type of channel you are using? That is, again it is a wireless channel. Again here this T should be capital, and this C should be capital, W should be capital, again C should be capital. And what is the propagation type you are using? Okay, so it is a two-ray ground. The propagation type what we are using, that is a two-ray ground. Okay, so if you want to know about these individual properties, you can just Google it. You will get more information about these different properties. Okay, so and here this T should be capital, R should be capital, G should be capital. And what type of antenna you are using? That is hyphen ant type, antenna type. There is a T should be capital, and here A should be in the capital letter. Then O should be capital here. Omni antenna. Okay, as I told, the main advantage of this Omni antenna is it will cover the in the form of a 360 degree. It will cover wider area. Okay, so fine. So coming to the last one, that is a topo instance. Okay, so $topo. What is this? This is a topology type. So what type of topology you are using? There is a in the initial part I have specified it as a $topo load flat grid 1000 into 1000. Okay, and agent trace is on, and router trace is on. So what are these agent trace and router trace? So agent trace is nothing but it is an application, and router trace is nothing but related to the router. Okay, so how the packets will be routed. And then we need to so this is all about what the node configuration. Okay, so what type of antenna you need to create, what type of channel. Okay, so what type of queue, what type of MAC type. Okay, what is the link type. Okay, everything you have to set in this part, that is a node configuration part. So next thing is we need to create a God. Okay, so this is a God. What is this God? So God stands for what? General. God stands for General Operations Director, GOD. Okay, so General Operation Director. What it does, it will store the information about the hops. Okay, it will store the information about the hops. Okay, so what is a hop? So when we look here, okay, suppose if I want to communicate the communication between this N0 and N1. Okay, so this will create one hop. Okay, the communication between N0 and N1, we can call it as a one hop, and communication between this N1 and N2, we can call it as a one more hop. Okay, so that will be maintained or that will be stored in the component called as a there is a, or you can say object, there is a God. Okay, so God is a General Operation Director, so which will hold or it will keep the track of all the hops. Okay, hop is nothing but what? It is a delivery of a packet from one node to another node. Okay, so how to create a god? That is C should be capital here. Okay, so create hyphen god space number of nodes. Okay, so how many number of nodes we are using in this topology? You can see here that is 3 nodes we are using. So hence what you are mentioning over it as a 3. That is for how many number of nodes I want to maintain or I want to store the hop details. Okay, so that you have to specify here. Suppose if I want to create a god for more number of nodes, say for an example 6, again you can mention over 6. But here we are dealing with only we have considered it only 3 nodes, so that's why I have specified the value as a 3. Fine. So next thing is we need to create a nodes. Okay, so as we have seen in the configuration part, so we are just using the 3 nodes. Okay, so how to create the node, how to create a node, set n node. Okay, node name space $ns node. That is similarly for n1, similarly for n2. Okay, so this is what for creating the nodes, the general process what we are going to use in all the other programs as well. Okay, so this is used to just labeling the node. Okay, so n naught is labeled as a, that is a TCP 0. Okay, so whatever the content you are going to write within this code, so that will be displayed whenever you are going to perform the simulation operation. Okay, so n1 will be labeled as a sync slash TCP1 and n2 is labeled as a sync 2. Okay, so can anyone tell what is this n1 here? N1 is labeled as a sync as well as a TCP1. As I told in the beginning, so we are going to represent the last node or you can say destination node usually as a sync, correct? But here the N1 node is going to act as a source as well as a destination. Okay, so how it acts as a source as well as a destination? So when the communication exists between this, or whenever this N1 or N0 is communicating with this N1, this node is acting as a destination. Whenever this N2 is communicating with this N1, so this node will act as a what source and this will act as a destination. That means this N1 is going to play the dual role, that is it acts as a source as well as a destination. Okay, so that's why I have labeled it as a sync slash TCP1. Okay, and N2 is as usual, that is it is labeled as a sync 2, that is it is a destination part. Okay, next. So the below code is used to give the initial node position. Okay, so where my node should be located in the initial part. Okay, so in the initially in the area of this 1000 by 1000 meters of x-axis and the y-axis, where my n0, n1 and n2 should locate. Okay, in the initial when you start simulation, where those nodes should be located or where should those nodes should be positioned. Okay, so how to position it? What is the general syntax? $n0 set. Okay, so x is the water, the axis underscore space 50. Okay, and similarly along y-axis it should be in this it should be available in this position, and then similarly for z-axis it should be for 0. Okay, so this is for n0 node. Okay, so when the simulation or the in the initial stage, so the n0 node should be available in 50 comma 50. Okay, and similarly for n1 node. Okay, so for n1 node, this node where it should be available again, it is 100 comma 100. You can see here same thing, it has been represented. $n1 set space x1, sorry, x underscore 100, and similarly for y underscore 100 and z is a 0. Okay, this is for n1 node. Similarly for n2. Okay, so n2, so these are what the you can say the initial coordinate values. Okay, so the coordinate value for n0 or initial coordinate value for n1 and coordinates value for the n2, or you can say assigning the starting value for all 3 nodes. Okay, where initially these n1, n0, n1, n2 should available or should be available in 1000 by 1000 area. Okay, so because if you provide these values x-axis and y-axis values with respect to any of the node beyond that 1000, that cannot be visible in your animation, because I have specified, I have given the boundary as 1000 by 1000. Within this range only these nodes should be defined. If I specify any one of the node coordinates beyond this 1000, then that can may not be displayed in your animation part. Okay, so that's why I'm assigning some boundaries. Okay, within that boundary only these nodes, and again even I am assigning what some coordinate values before or less than this 1000 only, I have to give some coordinate values for that particular node. So next thing is we need to set the agents. Okay, so same process again. TCP0 is attached to N0. Again, same process. Set TCP0 space new agent. A should be capital. TCP should be capital. Okay, so $ns attach. This N0 is attached. Sorry, TCP0 is attached to N0. And again, we need to attach a traffic generator. That is a as I told, whenever we are using TCP as an agent, then we are going to use FTP as a traffic generator. Okay, so that is what specified here. You can see here. So FTP0 is going to be attached to your TCP0. Okay, set FTP0 space new application slash FTP. A should be capital and FTP should be capital. Okay, then coming to the N1 node. Okay, so because N1 node we have considered as a sync1. Okay, set sync1 new space agent. A should be capital, TCP should be capital, S should be again capital. Okay, so N1 should be assigned to sync1 and then TCP0 is again assigned to sync1. Okay, and then connect this TCP0 to sync1. Okay, and N1 is TCP1 is attached to N1 and we are going to assign the again the traffic generator, that is FTP1 to TCP1. Okay, and then for the node 2, sync2 is going to be attached. Okay, so sync2 will be attached to node 2. Okay, then we need to connect this TCP1 to sync2. Okay, so we have connected these two. You can see here we have connected this one and this one and this one and this node. Then so what is the what are these steps? Okay, so these steps are, you can call it as a, this is again the same steps, or you can say same lines of code. You can call it as a schedulers. Okay, so at what time these FTP0 and FTP1 should start releasing the packets. Okay, and next line, so the below code line is used to provide the node movements. Okay, so at what time this N1 node, okay, should be, or at what is the position of this N1 node, okay, whenever this time or whenever the event or simulation time is 100. Okay, and similarly for again this N similarly at this 109 is the simulation time. At this time this N1 should be available in this position. These are what the position values. Okay, this N1 node should be available. Okay, and this N1 node should be available. You can see here, as I told in the beginning. Okay, so this node is acting as a source as well as a destination. Okay, so whatever the time period I have specified in the code part, during that time period, okay, so it should be in particular coordinate value. Okay, so whenever that whenever one more time period I have specified, okay, so during that time period, that the position of that particular node is going to change. It will be available in these coordinates values. Okay, so why I am assigning for only N1? So remaining two nodes are constant. That is, the first one is you can consider it as a source, and last N2 you can consider it as a sink or a destination. And here N1 is acting as a source as well as a destination. Okay, so that's why I am making this node movement, that is at 100 position. It should be available in these coordinates values. Okay, and again these are not standard values. You can change these values as well. Okay, so if you change these values, then the simulation or the animation what you are going to see in the animation part, again it is going to it will be look like quite changes. Fine, so this is again the finished procedure. So what we have seen in the remaining programs, that is by defining the globally the variables like ns, tf, okay, and then nf, ns, and $ns plus trace is a simulator method which is going to dump all the files on respective files like trace file and out.tr file, and then execute nam file name dot nam ampersand. What is that? This is a this will execute the what nam visualization, and then closing the trace file, and exit 0, that is close the application, and then $ns at 250 finish the simulation and run the, or you can say start the simulation process. Okay, so this is all about what the AWK script. Okay, so now coming to this is all about what the TCL script. Now coming to the AWK script, awk script. Okay, so here as I told, the awk script always it starts with the begin and it always ends with the end. So between this we are going to write some of the code part. Okay, so what are the code part we have written? You can see here count 0, count 1 is equal to 0, count 2 is equal to 0, packet 1 is equal to 0, packet 2 is equal to 0, and time 1 is equal to 0 and time 2 is equal to 0. Okay, so why we are using here count 1, count 2, packet 1 and packet 2, and time 1 and time 2? So because we are considering here two sender and a two destination. Okay, in the initial time, so the node n0 is going to act as a sender. Okay, so this will also act as a sender, and this will act as a destination, and this will also act as a source as well as a destination. Okay, hence we have used what two variables here, that is count one for one sender, and count two for another, and packet one, packet two, and time one and time two. Okay, so since we are using two senders and a two destination. Okay, so next coming to if $1 is equal to R. Okay, so R is nothing but what? Receive packet. Okay, so R stands for a receive packet. So $1 is nothing but what? The first position of the trace file. If is equal to R, and okay, so what is this? If $3 is equal to 1, that means here this 1 represent what? The node number. Okay, so node number, and $4 is equal to AGT. So AGT is the agent trace file. It is a application. Then this is what the complete the component with respect to the first sender. That is a your n0 node. That is a count 1 will be incremented, then the packet will be incremented, and here packet 1 plus $8. Okay, so here the content of packet will be, okay, or you can say the content of packet will be stored in this the position of this trace file, that is in the field of the $8 position. Okay, the time, this is all about what the first sender, and similarly for second one. So again the same thing. So here we can see only small changes, that is a 2. So 2 is for with respect to the second sender. Okay, again the content will be remain same. Okay, with respect to second sender, and this is what at the end we need to print, or we need to calculate the throughput. Okay, so what is the throughput? So how fast you can send the packet. Okay, so what is the throughput? So throughput is one of the performance metrics, or I can say it is one of the performance measure which is used to measure a performance of any network. Okay, so how can we calculate the throughput of any network? So throughput can be given by, or throughput can be calculated by, what is that? Standard equation. Throughput is equal to total number of a packet sent divided by time. That is, so how many number of packets you have sent, okay, in 1 second. Okay, so what we need to do? So this is for with respect to the first communication part, and this is with respect to the communication between n1 and n2, and this is with respect to communication between n0 and n1. Okay, so what is this? You can see here, print throughput from n0 to n1. Okay, so what we are going to do? So count into packet into 8. What is this 8? So we are going to converting this in terms of 1 byte is equal to 8 bit. So this 8 is representing what? We are going to represent throughput in the form of a bits. And again time 1 into, so 1 into 6 times of zeros. What is this? Converting the time in terms of a megabits again. Okay, so time converting the time in terms of a, you can see here mbps, megabits. Similarly for node 2, that is for second communication between, that is n1 and n2. Again it is represented in the form of a mbps. Again this is 8 is for bits, and then this is what? The megabits per second. Okay, so how to run? Again same procedure, that is ns filename dot tcl. Okay, then you are going to see this animation part. Okay, so as I told, this is your n0 node, and this is n1, and this is the n2. Okay, so initially these two nodes are going to communicate with each other, and then after a couple of minutes the position of this node is going to change. That means this node is going to move away of this node, and it will reach, or it will come nearer to this node, and then again it will make some communication here, then again it will go back to its previous stage. Okay, and then you need to calculate the total throughput. So how to calculate the total throughput? That is awk hyphen f filename dot awk, that is again filename dot tr. Okay, so throughput from n0 and n1 will be so and so. Okay, so after running this program, you are going to get some throughput value, and the throughput between this n1 and n2 is again 345 mbps. Okay, so the throughput of between this n0 n1 is higher than this one, because here you can see here 5444, but here only through 345. Okay, so this is all about the fourth program, that is ESS, extended service set. Fine. Okay, so now we'll see the animation part. You can pin to Manjunath sir user so that you can see the visual animation part. Okay, so what is the command? NS. I can just check out where what file name you have saved your program. NS file name what you have given, that is here we have given it as a lab4 dot tcl. Okay, so once you type this command, then see here initializing the list list ahead, and then channel, so highest antenna, so everything has been specified here. Then you are going to observe the animation part. Enlarge. Okay, so this is what the animation part. Okay, so once you click on the play button, you can see the here. So this below you can see three nodes here. Okay, so last node, okay, top node is n2, okay, and middle node is n1, and below node is nothing but a n0. Okay, so in the middle node it is acting as both a sender as well as a destination. Okay, so already simulation has been started. Okay, so since the we have given the wider range as 1,000, you can see the movement very slowly. Okay, so in the initial stage, the N0 and N1 are going to communicate with each other. So when it crosses that particular range, okay, then N1 is going to move. It will use the another access point, and it will move to nearer to sync. That is a destination. Increase the speed. You can see here. Can you able to see the movement of or the communication between this N1 and N0 and N1? Is it visible? Okay, so after a couple of minutes, again this node is going to change its position. That means it will go away, or it will move away to this N0 node, and it will move to nearer to this last node, that is N2. These are what the initial coordinates points what we have specified, where my N0 node and N1 node and N2 node should be available in the area of 1000 by 1000. Okay, so you can see still it is communicating. Now see, node 1 starts moving away from the node N0. Now the packet when it moves away from that particular node, okay, so beyond the coverage area or beyond the range of that access point, some of the packets may be lost. Okay, so that blink, that circle part is going to represent, or it is nothing but what the coverage area, or you can say the range. Okay, so now you can see the node N1 starts moving away from the away from that N0 node, and now it's moving nearer to N2. In the first communication part, the N1 is acting as a destination. Now the N1 will act as a source, and that last node will act as a destination. Now see, now when it comes to in the range of that particular N2 node, okay, in the coverage area of that particular node, the communication is going to happen between N1 and N2. Still, it is communicating N1 with N2. Now we can see, now it starts moving away from that node N2. When it's move away from that particular range, then again the communication is going to be stopped. That means no further communication exists between N1 and N2. Okay, so when it move out of that particular coverage area or range, so whatever the packets or whatever the communication is going to happening between that N1 and N2, those communication cannot be possible. That means some of the packets may be lost due to lack of the coverage area, or I can say range. We have a zoom option. Okay, so you can use that zoom option so that you can clearly see those nodes. If you provide in the initial, then you cannot able to see those nodes properly. You can see those dotted line also. Okay, from TCP0 to that node, that is what the response message which is coming from node 0 to node 1. Okay, now again it came back to its initial position. Okay, so again communication is going on between that N0 and N1. Okay, now the simulation got over. Okay, so we need to calculate the throughput. So how to calculate the throughput? That is AWK hyphen F, AWK hyphen F, file name lab4 dot AWK, again lab4 dot tr. See here, you can see the throughput from N0 and N1 is around 5863, and throughput between N1 and N2 is 1307. Okay, it is in the form of again Mbps. Okay, so the throughput between N0 and N1 is higher than the N1 and N2. Okay, so this is what we need to calculate at the end of the simulation process. So if you want, you can see the trace file. Go to trace file. lab4.tr. Next, you can see here, this is what the trace file which we are going to obtain after performing the simulation of your ESS. Okay, so the difference is here we can see RTR and AGT. So AGT is a agent trace, that is an application, and RTR is a router trace. Okay, it is used to, it is just it will give the information about the routing, how the packet is routed and all. Okay, so this is all about what the program number 4.